Hello, everyone. Welcome to this talk, this health talk. Today, I'm gotta get this right. I'm Howard Jacobson. I am the Chief of Behavioral Science at WellStart Health. What am I? I'm the Chief Habit Nerd at WellStart Health, the co-founder. I'm the only founder. I'm the only person at the Plant Yourself podcast. Man, I need a redo. Let's start with a breath, shall we? Okay, back to human identity. Howard Jacobson, Chief of Behavioral Science at WellStart Health, host of the Plant Yourself podcast, co-author of Sick to Fit with Josh LaJaunie. Josh should be back next week, so we'll be starting to do some of these in tandem. And the purpose of these talks, is to help people lead healthier lives, lose weight, reverse chronic disease, feel better, look better, be more comfortable in their skins, and to be able to contribute our strengths, our values to the world. The world needs it. It's a crazy world these days. Today, I've been talking pretty high level, kind of some esoteric stuff. And today what I wanted to do was go back to talking to beginners. And so to do that, I lurk on this Facebook group, a weight loss support group, and I almost never post. I got dragged into an argument about dairy the other day, but I regretted it almost as soon as I, hit send or post or whatever you hit on Facebook. And generally, there's so much misinformation in that group and so much wrong-headed thinking and silly assumptions that I don't see any way to be helpful. So what I do, though, is I hang out and I sort of, keep up my finger on the pulse of what America is thinking about when it comes to weight loss in particular, because this is not about health. So health is, if health comes up at all, it's very secondary. There's always someone who's going to be, posting like, remember, this is about your health too, not just your weight. But basically, this is a weight loss group. Here we go. I'm back. At my age, I'm never sure if it's the camera focus or my eyes. So what I wanted to do is read to you. How many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 recent comments. I just scrolled through the page and grabbed 6 questions that people had posted. And what would be fun is I'll read the question, and then if folks could just type in some answers that you have. What would you say to this person? And I'll read those comments, and then we can have a discussion about it, and I'll share the notes that I wrote down. All right, ready? Let's see how many people are watching right now. A bunch. Hello. So if you're watching, and I can't see who's watching, but if you want to just say hello in the comments, then I can see who's here, and we can make this more of a party. All right. Question number 1. What are some good workouts to lose arm and thigh fat that don't involve weights? Like, I have 5-pound weights, but that's it. I could use those if you guys have suggestions for them. All right, what do you think? How would you respond to a person who wants to know, how do I lose arm and thigh fat that don't involve weights, or I could use 5-pound weights, but that's it? What do you think? Hello. All right, well, let me share, keep type as you think of them. And hey, hello, Beth, Coney, Raquel, April. So Raquel says push-ups. Cool. Definitely, you do not need weights. Push-ups and squats are 2 of the best body weight exercises you could do. And absolutely, we would get to those. But I'm going to start by examining the assumptions in the question. So the first assumption is that you can lose arm and thigh fat by sort of spot reducing. Right. So you cannot choose where to lose weight unless you're actually going to cut it out. Right? If you're going to do liposuction or something like that, then you can say, yeah, I want that blob and that blob and that blob. but otherwise, weight is stored on the body in accordance with the body's own plan, and it falls off in accordance with the body's own plan. And we really have very little control over that. So we can't do that, but we can build muscle. So if you want to build a muscle, you work the muscle. So if you want to, make your arms more toned, you use weights that involve moving your arms, or as Raquel said, do push-ups. Now, if you can't do a full push-up, right? So people very often have this very binary sense of, okay, I can either do the thing or I can't do the thing. And we all fall for this, like, oh, I couldn't run today because I only had 45 minutes, and when I run for an hour. So, no, you could run for 30 seconds. I swear to you, if you run hard for 30 seconds, you will feel it all day, and you'll feel the benefits of it all day. So instead of thinking binary, yes or no, done or not done, we can think in terms of gradations. So if you can't do a full push-up, what can you do? You could do a knee push-up. If you can't do a knee push-up, what can you do? You can do a chair push-up. So if you think about the body like this, and these are the hands, so these are the hands, pushing down and up, the higher this goes, like this, the less you're pushing directly down against gravity. So if you're up on a chair, it's easier to do the push-up than if you're just flat on the ground. If you want to make it really hard, you do handstand push-ups. So the farther you get from this and the closer you get to this, so you can start with wall push-ups. And the closer you are to the wall, the easier it is. So you could make this, or rather, the farther away you are from the wall, the easier it is to begin to move yourself. So you can start with wall push-ups. When you can do 3 sets of 10, then you can move to a chair, and maybe you can only do a couple, or maybe you can only just hold the position for a little while. Right? So there's plenty of things you can do that are not extreme that can get you there. But here's what I would say. The best, if you want to use weights or if you want to use body weight and you're focused on losing weight in specific spots, let that go. Instead, focus on using weights or any challenging, slightly uncomfortable movement to build your capacity to tolerate discomfort. We call it vitamin P in Sick to Fit and at WellStart. Because when we are practicing vitamin P, when we are enduring discomfort, pain's not such a great word. I wish vitamin D wasn't taken. It's not a vitamin anyway. It's a hormone. Anyway, why don't we just call it vitamin D, discomfort? Take that over. When we practice vitamin D, discomfort, and we do it in terms of, I'm going to walk for 20 seconds when it doesn't feel so good, or I'm going to hold the top of a push-up, or even hold the top of a wall push-up, and I'm going to feel my arms shaking a little bit, and the muscles are groaning because this is moving them past comfort into failure. Oh, here they are. We can then apply that vitamin P when it comes to our food cravings, because food is much more important than movement, especially at the beginning of weight loss. So let's not avoid movement, but let's use movement to build the mindset we need for surfing our cravings without giving into them instantly. Because what is that? We give into the craving instantly? It's because we can't tolerate the feeling of the craving, or we can't tolerate the feeling that triggered the craving. Maybe it's fear, anger, shame, anxiety. So practicing physical discomfort is a transferable skill to the emotional discomfort that we need to be able to handle in order to get control of our eating. All right, let's go to the next one. Holy frick, I need, all caps, some motivation, 6 exclamation points. I have basically been paying the gym for the last 6 months for me to lay in bed watching Netflix and eating ice cream. I need to get my lazy ass out of bed and actually go, but I have no motivation whatsoever. What motivates you, and how do you keep pushing through? Need some ideas. Thank you, exclamation point, exclamation point. All right, what do you think? How do you respond to this person? What are some thoughts? And is there anything, and I have an advantage here because I'm seeing the words, but anything you heard that can give you some leverage to, first of all, notice what their thought pattern is. And I'm not doing this to pick on these people because we all have these same thought patterns. This is culturally conditioned. And what we're doing at Sick to Fit and at WellStart Health is helping people decommission, de-brainwash from some of these concepts. Anybody got something? Waiting for the comments. I just want me to go. Okay. I will then. So what I wrote to myself as notes was, you're obviously very motivated, right? How do we know that she's motivated? They write, I need some motivation, 6 exclamation points. Holy frick. So if the person wasn't motivated, right? If the person was not motivated, they would not be writing this in the first place. And they wouldn't call themselves names. I need to get my lazy ass out of bed. What do you do? Like this person, this is a cry for help. So why would the person cry for help if they weren't motivated to do the thing? So the mistake here, and we can apply this to ourselves, the mistake here is when we think we're not motivated and we're really upset by how unmotivated we are, we're actually motivated. And the negativity we feel, the bad feelings we feel, are the equivalent of our motivation. They are the expression of how motivated we are. Because think about it, if this person honestly wasn't motivated to lose weight, if they truly had no motivation, what would they have written on the weight loss support group forum? Answer? They wouldn't have. They wouldn't be on the forum. And if they were on the forum by accident, they wouldn't post 6 exclamation points. I need some motivation. I need to get my lazy ass out of bed. Basically calling themselves out. They didn't say, I need help going to the gym. They painted a picture of themselves as a shameful creature, lying in bed, watching Netflix, eating ice cream, spiraling into deeper and deeper levels of shame. That person is already motivated. We do not need to motivate them. The problem here is not motivation. The problem is traction, knowing what to do in that moment. And so the thought of getting up and going to the gym is simply too overwhelming for this person right now. So Elizabeth had a great question there. Why do you need to go? So we might explore that, right? So we want to get the person from need to want. Like, why do you need to go to the gym? You don't need to go to the gym. You obviously are getting by watching Netflix, eating ice cream, laying in bed. Well, because I want to lose weight. What would that do for you? I'd be happy. I'd be thin. I would be dating, whatever. Oh, so it sounds like you want to lose weight. Yeah, I want to lose weight. But why go to the gym? Well, because I need to go to the gym in order to lose weight. So do you want to go to the gym? Yeah, I want to go to the gym. Okay, great. So let's change our language. Holy frick, I want to go to the gym. And just saying that, hearing yourself say it, hearing yourself say, I want to do this, can change everything. But now we want to say, so tomorrow, what do you want to do? I want to go to the gym. Well, what's the first thing you need to do? Well, I need to turn off Netflix. Great, so let's practice turning off Netflix. This week, your goal is to sit in bed, eat ice cream, and not watch Netflix. Do that for a week. Let's see if you can do it. Because if you can't turn off Netflix, you can't go to the gym. And then next week, what if you sit in bed and you ate a banana split? Half banana, half ice cream. Right? And we make our way, understand what is this person capable of doing right now in their own mind. Because there's no self-efficacy here. Right? If you remember the pyramid, every single webinar, we've had 5 webinars this week. Every single one, I've introduced the WHAM pyramid, the WellStart Health Attainment Model. And self-efficacy comes right after motivation. So the question is, what do you think you can do? Right? It's not about motivation here. It's about, I don't believe I can do it, and I don't know how to do it, and I don't know what steps to take. So we would work with this person to establish what's a thing you can do that would get you on the road to from bed, Netflix, ice cream to the gym. And of course, we could also explore, is going to the gym the issue, or just putting down the ice cream and getting off the bed and going for a walk, right? We don't need, there's also an embedded assumption here that the gym is the answer when it might very well not be. So in my mind, sending out to the universe for these people to somehow discover well-starred health, to discover sick to fit, to discover a generative, positive, sensical way of thinking about these issues, because the steps are so easy once you change the mindset. All right, another one. I have been overweight my whole life, pretty much. Now I am 23 years old and 250 pounds, and dieting has not ever worked, nor exercise, because I never have energy. I took the easy route and got my doctor to prescribe weight loss medication that makes my heart race and curb appetite. If I lose a lot of weight, what are some tips to keep it off? Whew. Need a deep breath for that one. For those of us who are empathic, this is hard work. What do you say to this person? And if it helps, this person identifies on the forum as a guy. Says that in the post. I'm a guy. So 23-year-old, 250 pounds, dieting has never worked. Exercise doesn't work because he lacks energy. Took the easy route, got pills, heart races, curbs appetite. If I lose a lot of weight, what are some tips to keep it off? What do you say? So one thing strikes me here as the biggest disconnect. And so what I'm always looking for here is, where is this person's point of view at odds with reality? Before I give any advice, right? So, I worship reality. Like, that's my religion. What is what I worship. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes, I stray and I become a heretic and I worship what I would prefer instead. And that typically looks like suffering, frustration, anger, lack of control. So Raquel, you hit exactly what I was thinking. That the if is the main issue here. If I lose a lot of weight. So where is this person's attention? It's on a hypothetical future that hasn't happened. So immediately, there's nothing to talk about. Why are we planning for something that may never happen? And we see this a lot so people who come into the program, they start feeling some success, and they're like, well, what do I say to my friends and family when I've lost all that weight? How do I maintain that? And right, what that mode of thinking is me avoiding the present and the job that I can do right now. Because there's only one period of time when I can do anything, and that's right now. And there's only one place that I can do anything, and that's right here. So anytime I'm asking a question, if I've attained my goal, if I'm like, okay, I've reached my goal, and now I want to prepare for the future, that's valid. But if I haven't reached my goal, why am I focusing on anything other than this moment? What do I do in this moment? So the first thing I would say is, don't take the easy route, right? Whatever you do that is unsustainable is not, by definition, sustainable. So whatever results you get now, we're not talking about something like, okay, the picture fell off the wall. So what do? Well, I go find a stud and I get a nail or a brad or a screw and I put it into the wall and then I rehang the picture. Like, that is a perfectly reasonable one-time solution. But taking drugs to lose weight that are basically uppers that make me not want to eat and increase my risk of all sorts of other diseases is by definition not sustainable. So if I want to maintain, let's say for the sake of argument that it works and you lose the weight and now you're at your regular weight and you want to go off those pills because they're going to, they're going to do terrible things to you, and you don't feel good. And it's what kind of life is this? The minute you go off the pills and you continue all your old habits, you're going to slide right back to where you were. That's your equilibrium. So if you insist on being on these pills right now, use this time to practice better habits. Use this as a buffer time so that when you go off the pills, you have skills. I would certainly urge you to move towards a more natural human solution. Like, your diets haven't worked because you have been using the standard American diets. You haven't, as Sharon points out, you haven't gone whole food plant-based. You haven't tried a diet where you can eat a lot and simply not get as many calories as you burn, which is a low-fat, whole food plant-based diet. So use this time to learn and to practice better habits. And the sooner you approach the now as opposed to the future, the more energy you'll have. So, if this person says, like, if nothing has worked, well, nothing I have ever done tomorrow has ever happened. Right? So maybe that's the key shift. Move back into today instead of tomorrow. And then you'll find you have some agency. It's like, why do I keep failing my driver's test? It's because you're sitting in the back seat. Get in the front seat, get in the driver's seat, put your hands on the wheel and your feet in the pedals, turn the key, and now let's talk. All right, so I think I've got the 3 more. I think I'm going to save these for another day. Anybody have questions? Type them in the comments. I'm happy to continue this conversation if anyone has any questions around anything that we've talked about or anything else. All right, with that case, I'm going to head out. I wish everybody a wonderful weekend. Remember that results dictate sufficiency. Focus on reality. Focus on the here and now. And you can always do something small now. If you feel like the issue is I can't do the big thing, then don't make it all or nothing. Find a small thing to do to constantly be leaning forward into progress, leaning forward into life, leaning forward into a joyous, all caps, yes. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Please share this if you found it useful. If you are interested in taking the plunge with us, we have a new program starting from WellStart Health on August. Yeah, that's the next month. August 5th. That's August 5th, 2019. You can find out more about it at wellstarthealth.com/program. And I'll put a link to that in the comments for today. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Barb, Leslie, Sharon, Beth, Raquel, everyone, Elizabeth. Have a fabulous weekend. Talk to you again soon. Bye.